Welcome back into Wake Up America. I'm Rob Finnerty. The Biden administration's failed border policies have caused the worst crisis at our southern border in over 25 years. This as we wait for the illegal crossing numbers for the month of October. Another massive caravan, by the way, is making its way to the southern border right now, and we have got exclusive video that is really shocking to see. This all headed toward our southern border. Joining us now for more is Newsmax border correspondent and retired Texas Department of Public Safety Captain Jason Jones. Jason, good morning. Good to have you back on.
Hey, it's good to be with you this morning. Good morning.
So we're keeping an eye on this caravan, really, because nobody in the media is. There are just a few other places where you'll even hear that this is happening, but it's going to be here before we know it. What's the latest with this caravan?
Well, we're seeing some really interesting tactics, Rob, with this. And Mexico has done a fantastic job. While they left Tapachula October 20th for the U.S. border with some pretty large numbers, between 6,000 and 7,000. What's happened is the tactics used by the Mexican government have been really pretty brilliant here. They've not let the alien smuggling organizations daisy chain these groups of what we call the underground Uber, where they take vehicles and pay smugglers fees to get to Mexico City. So here we are, literally, since October 23rd, they've still not made it to even Mexico City. That's been a brilliant tactic because they've made them walk. And what is happening now, you're going to see a real transition here, and you're going to hear a lot of outcry from the caravan leaders that women and children can't walk anymore. They're sick, they're injured, and they are. I mean, that's beginning to happen. So it's really taken the fight out of this caravan, and a large group of people who were in it are starting to disperse. That is good for us. And here's what it really shows us. It shows us that the Mexican government and other governments have the ability to stop what comes to their countries. And all Americans should never forget this. Remember, border security doesn't start at our border. It ends at our border. The over-the-horizon approach is the way to go, and to hold these countries accountable for this, because we're seeing it right now. The caravan should have already been to our border. They haven't made it yet.
I want you to address, and we're going to play some of the exclusive video that you've sent us from the border here. Again, you'll only see this right here on Newsmax. So while you're narrating, could you just address that? Why doesn't the Mexican government, these governments in Central and South America, why aren't they doing more on their borders to prevent this from happening? We're looking at this video. We're talking about kids, moms, dads, people that should not be walking hundreds of miles with no resources through hot countries.
So true. And this is where the frustration comes for me, because, our government has caused this. It has been the perception that they have told the world, and then proven it with 1.7 million apprehensions at our southwest border in this fiscal year, that if you come, you will make it. And the world has seen that. And that's why we've apprehended people from over 151 countries, Rob. Jeez. We've never seen that before. So that's exactly why these people are coming in. And if you're frustrated at home right now, and Americans are seeing this, you should be, because none of this should be occurring. And where I get very frustrated is I know very well how the cartels operate. I know the money they make from this, along with those crooked individuals in the corrupt government of Mexico. Those are the stories that aren't being talked about, and that's what we really need to get out. And we're going to be illuminating a lot of this moving forward, because this should not be happening. Absolutely.
Jason, the vaccine mandate it's a huge divisive issue. It's this black and white issue when it should be all entirely gray. 46 million Americans have had COVID. Nobody cares about natural immunity. Nobody wants to address it. It's happening with the Border Patrol. The mandates are going to go into effect today. They go into effect with the Air Force and Space Force. We're talking about thousands of people. Do you think the Biden administration has just completely underestimated how much Americans are willing to fight for their rights?
I do, and I have to tell you, what you're talking about right now, Rob, is my biggest concern. It is no longer the cartels. It's not the alien smuggling groups. It's not these caravans. This vaccine mandate has the ability, starting November 9th, the men and women of the United States Customs and Border Protection are fantastic folks. I've worked with them for many, many decades during my career. And we are looking to lose 3,000 to 5,000, and that all the disciplinary action starts November 9th. And they have by the 22nd to be vaccinated, or they're out of federal service. Now, this really concerns me, because we're already seeing our border at the worst we've ever seen it. This is the worst border crisis. We cannot afford to lose Border Patrol or men and women from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
You think it is, Jason, by the way? Sorry to cut you off there. You think this is the worst ever? We can say that now?
Oh, no doubt. And the data shows that, Rob.
Wow.
Look, if you go to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website, you absolutely see it, not only in the apprehensions, you see it in fentanyl seizures. Let me tell you, the concern that I have here, too, is the amount of fentanyl we've seized. The men and women of U.S. Customs and Border Protection have seized 11,201 pounds of fentanyl. That's an all-time amount ever at the southwest border.
Wow.
It's a 53% increase from 2020. And what it shows us is that CJ&G cartel, along with Sinaloa, have doubled down on the production of fentanyl. And now here's how it affects every American. So if you're sitting in Philadelphia, you're sitting up north on the Northeast, and you're thinking, well, Jason, I'm glad I don't live on the border. We've had 96,000 overdose deaths in this country.
That's so
according
tragic.
According to CDC, from March 2020 to March of 2021. And all of that, Rob, is linked to an unsecure border and not holding the Mexican cartels accountable. And these policies of this administration are absolutely destructive. I mean, and you see it playing out now throughout the country. So this is where we are. We're going to keep illuminating it and showing the American people what's happening.
Please do, Jason. Please keep an eye on it. We'll have you back on as we monitor this caravan, which is just walking north with impunity toward our southern border. That is Newsmax border correspondent Jason Jones joining us. Jason, thanks so much for the update. We appreciate it.
Always good to be with you.